Good morning, beautiful souls. Happy Friday. It's not a woodland adventure this morning. A little bit more kind of comfortable and dry because I went and investigated the woods this morning and they are very waterlogged. So I've just come on back, got myself set up, got the sun coming up behind me, and as I was out walking earlier on, I saw the kind of the tail end of the moon in Leo just fading out, the full moon in Leo, which was rather lovely. But here we are, and I've just spent the kind of the week really just landing and grounding, and just coming back to point centre after the incredible workshop in Helsinki, organised by Jenny Rantakahila and Lavisa Alvatorn and Anna Indra Larsen were my trusty companions over the course of the weekend, and we got a lot of really good work done. Really good work elevating a energetic temple of sound at the Muskatalo in the centre of Finland at Helsinki, and connecting with Fencorm by the lake. So lots to process energetically, but one very important thing happened over the course of the weekend. Of course, all of the work that we do together is important, but there was a planetary movement, a shift, a massive shift. If you want to know more astrologically about the fine points of what I'm going to be talking about or what I'm describing here, then please go to Pam Gregory's YouTube account and have a look about what happens when Pluto moves into Aquarius, because that's what's occurred. That was the exciting thing that occurred on the 21st of January that truly, deeply affects us all. So what, just, you know, like with my very limited kind of astrological knowledge, just talk a little bit about what Pluto and Capricorn has meant, and that's very much what we've been experiencing, the very much in your face constructions of all austerity, authority, what we call as the third dimensional matrix. And whenever I say that word now, whenever I say or use the description third dimensional matrix, I do kind of wince a little bit, because you see it kind of being bandied around and used with all of these different contexts, but I prefer to describe it now as the school that we attended. Okay, the school that we have now graduated from, that we are we're still involved with on many levels, but we primarily, or I'm speaking to you, the light workers, we've learnt the majority of the lessons and we're moving onwards. Now, I want to look at something this morning which I regard as very important, and I'm going to have to be possibly maybe a little bit careful of my wording, because obviously there's the flagging of trigger words, or do you know what, I think I might just say it anyway, see what happens. Okay, our focus, everything that we're working for at the moment, our energy, our platform, the unification that we are, the return to unity that we are embarking on, that is a heart-centered target that we all now share, even amongst those that walk this planet who might not be classically spiritually orientated like you and I are. You might be, who knows, you might be listening to this and you might have just stumbled across this page randomly, having been guided here. But there are now a lot of people walking this world who are being guided by their hearts, but they don't really realise that this is happening. They're just living different lives, they're speaking different words, they're taking different actions, their life timeline trajectory has completely and utterly changed. there is, for want of better words, an assault on our peace that is occurring. We knew this would be happening. We spoke about this, or I spoke about this, and others spoke about this at the beginning of the year, that with the transition as Pluto moves into Aquarius, utterly resetting the boundaries. Capricorn pertains to social control, austerity, the structures that we have learned much from, particularly over the last kind of, we all know what happened in 2020 when the big changes began to occur on the world, around this world. What we're seeing is the highlighting of all of the shadows that have needed to come to the surface so that everybody can witness them, experience them, see them for what they truly are, and step away from them. Now we've got something else which is presenting itself. And conflict, I'm going to use the word conflict. I'm not going to use the words that might kind of trigger the algorithm or get the attention of the bots or whatever. Conflict is one of those situations that has the capacity to trigger every one of us. Very much say the same thing as a invisible, it's at the moment, everything is down to invisible threats, the potentiality of an outcome, something that could occur that is going to affect all of us. Now this, as I've described previously, is fear seeding. That's using our creative potential to collectively seed an outcome. Now that is the very clever way that this previous reality has been. That's the way it's been run. We have willingly and unwillingly participated in a school that has used our energy and our powers of manifestation to create our own reality. We've all agreed to it. We kind of get involved with these things. We add our energy to them. We believe them to be real. We hyper focus upon them. We share messages about them. We speak about them either to friends, to family, to people that are willing to listen. And all of the time that occurs, especially when messages are shared, when information is passed around on that incredible gateway of connection, social media, that is, for want of a better word, that is creating the spell. Okay, my good friend Paul Debris Carey said something very interesting. He's got some wonderful one-liners. Speak less, say more. Okay, we're moving into a period of time now where we need to be aware of every word that comes out of our mouth. When we speak the words, when we share information, when we pass it amongst ourselves, what is the intention behind that? And are we aware of the energy that it is going to create upon receipt? So now we are being asked to assist with creating a almost worldwide spell that involves conflict. Okay, no situation will ever trigger the survival instincts of people on this planet more than this, because even to the point where many of us, and some of you that are tuning into this, if you've been on this planet a while, will have already lived through conflict. It might already be occurring in your country. It might be happening locally. It might be happening on a national level. It depends on where you are geographically located. It depends on where you have chosen to incarnate upon this planet and what you have chosen to experience. But this is now turning into something which is the spell is being cast around the world to draw everybody's attention to it. Now, have you noticed how there are multiple prongs occurring simultaneously? We have more new biological wonders potentially in the pipeline. We have the situations occurring with the borders. We have the costs of everything and the way that money is being used around the world. But most importantly comes back to the news or the information that has come out recently about conflict. Now, how are you going to respond to this? Okay, this is the big question. If you have already encountered this and you know what I am talking about, how have you responded to it? Have you checked in with yourself and seen or felt what the triggers are? Whether there might be a modicum of fear or whether it's a huge amount of fear, whether you are maybe fearing for your loved ones or your children or yourself or the entire situation. Has it filled you with a sense of hopelessness for the golden future that we are moving towards on this planet? And if you can honestly check in with yourself and then come back with the answer no, it hasn't even touched the sides, then you're on the right track, basically. Now, I'm not sat here saying that none of us should have human emotions or human responses to situations. We have to honour our humanness. We have to look within and, and see where the triggers within are. So that's something that we should already be investigating. Our own triggers, our own programming, our own, the things that we have learned and we've taken on board and that we carry within us as we've traversed our incarnations up to this point. That's our responsibility, okay, to make sure that we are in check with ourselves. If we respond or react to a certain thing, is to know where that reaction is truly coming from, whether it is within or whether it is without. So there is a huge potential at this moment in time to be drawn, willingly or unwillingly, into a state of fear, hopelessness, having the cage rattled again. Oh, we were doing so well and now this. Well, for want of a better words, we are dealing with a desperate entity, okay? All other methods of control have failed. Like they just one after the other, like dominoes, bang, 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 as predicted, because you cannot instigate third dimensional aspects with a rising frequency, and that will be the same thing that applies to what is occurring now. So this is purely energetic, okay? This is something that has the potential to manifest if we believe it to be so, and that is because we are incredibly powerful creators. So if there is a unified field of people that believe wholeheartedly that something is going to happen to them, that it's going to occur, that's it's an inevitable reality, then the spell has been cast, the magic has been given fuel. Now, if you remember what I was saying previously in my other videos about how the astral is no longer fueling the alchemy that serves to control on this world, you'll realise that the only source of magic left on this world for the fueling of the 3D matrix, slight wince when I say that, is us. Okay, so we are the final, we're the kindling, we're the coal, we're the diesel, we're the fuel for the fire. So it is therefore going to fall, we are now going to be the focus in order to draw our attention and our intention away from the heart center back into the kind of like the old templates of survival, of fear, of despondency and hopelessness, all of the other things that we've all experienced at some point on this planet at some particular time, but they are vying very, very hard now to get us into that particular state. This is going to be just one of those messages from me. Don't step through that gateway, okay? You are a being of peace. You are a being of light, of hope, of joy, of happiness. That is your divine birthright, to have those frequencies, to hold them, to radiate them, to be in your heart center at all times. No, and more to the point, as we step into this Pluto in Aquarius energy, that is solidifying the sovereignty, your mastery, your sovereignty, your right to exist freely on this planet as the incarnated point of light, very, very bright point of light that you are. So be aware and be prepared at the moment to have that reality challenged. I talked about this at the beginning of the year. I said things were going to rattle the cages of all of us. As the light rises, as we embark upon this trajectory of joy, of unity, of oneness, there will be an absolute insistence from where we have come from those that control, or the power, I call them the powers that were, to reclaim the last vestiges of what they can still control. So that is where we are at this moment in time. We are seeing and hearing an incredible volume of all of these different things at once. It's not just coming from one source, it's every single little thing that could possibly challenge our reality is being thrown in at once. You might be feeling quite overwhelmed by this, okay? You might be thinking, like, where do I turn? Where do I turn to hear some good news, to feel some good vibrations, to actually feel something positive about life? And ultimately, that responsibility lies with you. Okay, I'm completely reliant on. I have to be reliant on my own light, my own frequency, and my own vibration to create my own happiness within my reality. I can't rely on other people to do that for me. So therefore, it is going to be our point of focus as we move through. And I think the next powerful day, and it's always my favourite one, I love Imbolc. We've got Imbolc coming up. That's a powerful transition. It's known as the Celtic Spring. Look for the things around you that create joy, peace, and serenity within your heart. Okay, you are the source of that light. The Ascended Masters can bring light to you. The angels can bring healing and peace and love. But ultimately, the main generator of that frequency on that planet is you. Allow nothing and nobody to control that for you. Okay, that is so important, particularly for this year, that all light workers now take full responsibility for our words, for our deeds, for our actions, for our own personal feelings and the way that we are being affected by the reality around us. Of course, things are going to rattle our cages, but bring it back to center. Remember who you truly are. Remember how powerful, incredibly powerful you truly are. There is no outside entity that has the ability to override that for you, okay? You are in the driving seat. You are steering this entire ascension process from the creations of the biosphere of every part of your reality around you. So once we all realize the magnitude of our power individually and collectively, the entire game outside of this collapses and we move forwards with grace and ease. So all of these stories, all of these cage rattles, all of these potentials, these fear seedings that are occurring at the moment, these will only come to fruition if they are given enough fuel. And there's not even the slightest potential for that to happen, because the weight of fifth dimensional frequencies has become, if you remember years ago, there was this seesaw balance of consciousness on one side, consciousness on the other. And this isn't about division, this is about vibration, levels of awareness, what we realise is going on in our reality around us, how clearly we see. So just be aware that all of this has the potential to be coming in. We can see it, we can hear it. Allow it to be. Don't be resistant against it, just let it go. Let go and let God. And keep that bright, illumined spark of iridescent joy burning within your heart center. Radiate it out to other souls around you, because the second other people feel that they step into your frequency, it changes theirs. So the fluctuations that we're seeing and feeling and occurring at the moment around us, they have no power. Okay, there is no power in the negativity of this world anymore. And that is my Friday Ascension update message. I feel that, you know, I've beaten this drum enough now. I think we all should be getting on top of this one, but I understand also that it's very challenging when things like this are coming up constantly in so many different forms. So what's coming up next? Well, my brother in the light, David Esri, and I are going to be embarking on our series of 3, the Soul Reclamation Pathway, on the 1st of February. And looking forward to that. More information will be coming out, and anything else that is going on, there's going to be information and text underneath this video. But from now, from my heart to yours, sending you joy and peace and love and unity, compassion and understanding. Love you all. Bye for now.